Greetings and welcome back to another Market Open live stream. So, just had a big discussion in the course member live stream about some of the most important parts of fundamental analysis, and we won't go into it here. But let's just say, usually, the people who comment, this is the conclusion I'm going to say we came to. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. Oh, and somebody wanted to know the short interest of Bkkt. I'll look at that really quick. But anyway, generally the people who say this is just FUD, generally the conclusion where we've come to is that they don't know the first thing about fundamental analysis. Anyway, short interest on Bkkt is 31.3%. Wow. But anyway, welcome back to this wild stock market ride that we're on. We're in this weird place where we're not getting a strong kind of rally. We're getting a lot of weak weenie baby crap. A lot of nonsense. Probably a lot has to, heavily do with Omicron, sadly. As much as we think that's a nothing burger, markets are still going to react fearfully to it for the time being. We do have a green market, though. But there's still individual stocks that are getting beat. And a lot of the individual stocks that are green, not like that crazily green. So, Dow sitting at 0.58, S&P at 0.77, NASDAQ at 0.84, Russell at 0.42. Okay, cool. Better than the pain we saw yesterday. Still nicely under 1.5 on the 10-year, which is, again, reiterating lower long-term inflation expectations. If we jump into the 2-year, we're also seeing the 2-year still at 0.67. This is kind of where we've been. We've been bobbing up and down a little bit here. If anything, we peaked up a little bit in the last couple of days. But we've been pretty consistent here. So we'll see what happens here with the 2-year. But what folks are worried about is a flattening of the yield curve. And so we'll keep an eye for that, because you don't want to head towards recession either. Start heading towards recession, we get here. You can see the chart a lot easier. 10-2 yield curve, St. Louis, Fred. Here you go. The 10-year yield minus the 2-year. And when this starts getting flat, when people say curve, it's just a fancy way of saying line chart. And see how this has been flattening? Flattening is a way of saying it's going down. Like when it sits over here, like it did in 2019, people have this crazy fear that anytime the yield curve inverts, like it did right here in about the summer of 2019, that there might be a recession a year or so later, which recessions on these charts are defined by big blocks of gray, which is also kind of a freaky omen that we had a recession within like 9 months after that inversion of the yield curve. But anyway, obviously that was COVID, which is just like, how could the market predict that? It obviously doesn't. It's more of a coincidence, but it's still very interesting. But anyway, anytime we see this kind of rotation down or this flattening, people get a little nervous. And so it's the difference between the two that matters. And so we'll keep an eye on these two. Right now, with the 2-year stable, and the 10 somewhat stable, maybe we'll just kind of sit at this floor. If anything, you've kind of got this floor on the here, let's do, look at this. Oh, how interesting. Look at this, folks. Isn't this something? I just noticed this. This is very interesting. Look at this. See this right here? You actually have a floor of the 10-year yield curve that's been here for about 3 weeks, and or the 10-2 yield curve. It's at about 0.75, 0.78, which is really interesting, because if you look at a lot of stocks, a lot of the stocks that we keep referring to as kind of having hit a bottom, hit their bottoms around a similar period of time. Look at that. December 3rd to now. Rough bottom on Beyond. Let's do DocuSign for gigs. So DocuSign, look at this similarity here. The 3rd to now. You're at roughly those bottoms. How interesting. It's almost like the stocks and the bottom we're seeing here is aligning with the bottom we're seeing on a lot of different stocks. That's really cool. I like that. That's awesome. Something to pay attention to. Yeah, even Enphase is at a little bit more. It took a while to get to its bottom. Enphase took a little longer, but its bottom seems to be there at that 175 level, which we've got a nice little support line for right now. Oh, I don't think we did a thumbnail for this, did we? Probably not. Let me make a thumbnail really quick. I hate it when I forget to make the thumbnail. Although, does anybody actually care? Here, let's do a level 99 fishing thumbnail here. That one looks pretty goofy and stupid, so it's perfect. Okay, so anyway, I like this. This is a little bit of a discovery here. The floor of the 10. So really, watch bond yields to know if our market's going to keep crashing. How interesting. And what's also interesting is if we go to 2018, I want to see the end of 2018 because that's when we had a lot of pain because of the taper. So let's jump on over here to the end of 18. So yeah, here's the end of 18. We got pretty darn flat. See, this is when the real estate market started crashing, was right here. Real estate market really sold off in these 2 months right here. And you had a big old slip. And then over here, right here, at this sharp decline right here, that's when you had the stock market crash. Oh, how interesting. Very, very good alignment there. All right. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and look at some other stocks here. While also quickly reminding you to, as usual, check out the links down below for the programs on building your wealth because the price goes up again on schedule at the end of Christmas Day. I wait all the way to the end of Christmas Day, so it's not like I'm the Grinch. Although I am wearing a RuneScape Grinch jacket or sweater here. So, but that is what the plan is. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at the sticks and see what we're actually dealing with today on the individual stock basis. So Tesla up very nicely, 7%. Elon apparently has not been selling today. We do expect that Elon is going to continue selling over the next 4 weeks. Watch my video on Tesla. If at any point you have a reaction that's like, hey, but Elon said he was done selling, you've been misinformed. I highly encourage you to watch my video on Elon not being done selling. And please watch that video before spreading misinformation. Because if you watch the video, it'll become very clear what Elon Musk actually said. Day Night says, this is Meet Kevin's 500th live stream. I'm not sure if you're just saying that because it feels like I do a lot of live streams, or if it actually is. I suppose I don't really have the answer to that. But that seems very interesting if that's the case. But anyway, we have some stuff to look at here. So we're going to look at the sticks. Okay, so Tesla sitting at about 7%. It looks like we're getting a little bit of an end of the day push here. Let's see if that's true. No, not really. It looks like we hit more of a bottom about a couple hours ago at about 988. So no, not necessarily. If anything, we just had a nice little red candlestick that showed up here just at the end. But we've seen quite a bit of this. Look at these sharp little drawdowns here. Oh, does this mean Elon's back? Is Elon doing this? Look at these sharp little sell downs here. You see those volume spikes? Look at that. That's about an extra 100,000 shares right there that are being dumped at those moments. Is that Elon? Elon, is that you? Elon, tweet if that's you. Tweet something. Tweet something in the next 5 minutes if that's you and you're watching. Or go like something. I don't know. Do something on Twitter. I'll stalk you over the next 5 minutes. And then we'll know. Probably nothing's going to happen. Don't get excited. Elon actually did tweet a minute ago. Look at this. He literally reiterated what I said this morning. When the 10B pre-programmed sales complete, there are still a few tranches left, but almost done. Exactly. uh, the clarity everyone was looking for. Thanks at Elon. And my guess remains that we have 3 to 4 trading days of sales of, I should say, tranches left. We've seen an average of 1 per week, 1 tranche per week. So there's an E at the end of that, isn't there? Tranche per week. Yeah, there is. So we could be done by the 3rd, 4th week of January. Boom. Maybe Elon was watching. He's like, okay, Kevin, I'll tweet. That was like perfect timing. I don't know. 2 minutes ago? We love you, Elon, if you're watching. If you're not, we still love you too. Okay, so let's keep going here. So tranches are just like groups. Think like baskets. It's just a fancy dumb word, or like a categorical group. Okay, good. So why is somebody saying, why would I buy when Elon's selling? Yeah, look, it's kind of like, the way you got to look at it is like a bucket. Imagine there's a bucket, or here, it's a coffee mug, and your coffee machine is putting coffee in the top. That's buyers. That's like Tesla fanboys and fangirls and institutions buying, and they're putting coffee in the mug, and so it's filling up. But there's a hole at the bottom called Elon. And so your hope is that your coffee machine is loading this cup up more than is leaking out of the bottom. And as long as that's true, the stock price goes up. Like today, it's up 7%. When that hole gets plugged, the stock price should be a lot more freed to go up, right? But if there's not as much coming in the top, and Elon's hole's still going, then obviously the price goes down, and that's what we saw yesterday when we went down to 886. Okay. Elon's really creating an opportunity for you to just buy shares lower. Is really what we've got. All right. So let's see here. Oh wow, Rite Aid gave up like almost all of its gains here. Rite Aid had a really big day. It was up like 17% not that long ago. Yeah, look at this. It was up to, what do we get to here? About 1541. We just dropped 8% on Rite Aid. Oh my gosh, Didi keeps going down. Oh my gosh. And this is despite the fact if they end up listing in China, they're expecting this thing to be worth $8.15 a share or whatever. Drew says, for more coffee mug examples, buy the course. Thank you for saying that. How do I feel about these dark pools? Look, I think there's a lot of transparency that's needed in the stock market, but I do think that it doesn't really, like, with the exception of certain circumstances, I don't think it's anything that like I would encourage anybody to be nervous about. I would just focus on your fundamental investments and don't worry about all the Wall Street crap. When there's a movement you could be a part of and you can voice your concern over lack of transparency, do it, be a part of it. But short of that, it's not something that's really worth paying attention to. IMHO. Anyway, AMC down 4.5% today. Cloudflare down 4.5%. BABA, the Chinese stock's just getting hammered. But so's Affirm, although Affirm's sticking rubber banding to that 100. Robinhood down about 2.6%. Had someone on CNBC apparently this morning bagging on it, which whatever. Like at this point, that's what you would expect. Yes, Kyle James nailed it. It's all about Elon's hole. Meet Kevin, supply and demand. Yes, there you see, Mark. Rather than talking about a coffee mug with a hole in it, Mark has a very sophisticated response. It's simple supply and demand. Supply is essentially increased by 950,000 a week. Demand remains constant. Oh, I see. If supply is cut. Okay, you're making it more sophisticated. Somebody can read it. It's fine. I get what you're saying. Anyway. So let's see here. ARKG down a 0.6. ARKG has started a little bit of a U-turn, though. Look at that. It's that same December 3rd to December 17th-ish floor. So it looks like we're off of that floor of about 58 for ARKG. I'm going to write that down on my floors list. He does watch. Miss Manners. That'd be cool. I don't know. I doubt it. I respect him a lot. But I never get replies from him. The only time he liked a reply to one of my tweets, he unliked it. It's kind of funny if you think about it. Although I will say I'm at 2 likes from May Musk, which I think that's pretty cool. Elon Musk's mom. So does that count? Elon should buy the course. I think Elon's doing okay. He's got a busy life. I don't envy the amount of busyness that he has going on, but hey, it's if you're doing big things, I think it's awesome. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, Neo. Oh yeah. This is what May Musk liked. In case those of you who don't use Twitter are wondering. May Musk like this. He May Musk likes. I did this little chart and I called it Noob vs. Pro on Tesla stock and Elon Musk. Stock market 101. And says here, Tesla at the bottom left. Well, so here, let me start with the pro one. So pro investors on Tesla. Pro investors on Tesla here realize Tesla is growing exponentially, so they invest. Tesla's still growing exponentially, so they invest. Tesla's still growing exponentially, so they invest. And this is like the stock price, right? And then you get noob investors on Tesla over here. And the noob investors say Tesla's overvalued. Then you get Tesla is a bubble stock as the price keeps going up. And then, of course, when it gets to like the highest point, GM is the next Tesla. So anyway, May must like that one. Okay, so I doubt that a lot, Tony. I appreciate that, but I doubt that a lot. Okay, let's see here. There, I like that explanation. It's the equivalent of buying the course on a discount when Elon's selling. There you go. All right, let's see here. Wow, you met Elon when he delivered the first Roadster. That is so cool. Wow, that is awesome. Good for you. Okay, so I also wanted to clarify this. Because I think yesterday, actually, I think it was, I'm not sure which live stream it was in, but it was in one of the live streams. God, no, I screwed up. I said I bought Luna, but I bought Matic twice. Sometimes I do that when I'm like rushing, and it's really stupid. But I had a list written down of the cryptos I wanted to buy. Like a week ago or whatever. And I'll just quickly show where that moment was. So it was right here. Hold on. There. See, look at that. I bought BTC ADA Matic AVAX. One of those Matics was supposed to be Luna, but it was actually Matic twice. So, oops. Oh, well. All right. So my neighbor is a design engineer for Tesla. Apparently he sees Elon at least once a week. That's awesome. That's awesome. Are you going to finally clarify my secret love for gold? I own no gold. All right. So Tesla's rallying here into the close. Yeah, look at that rally into the close there on Tesla. Very nice. All right, so Moderna. Gosh, Moderna's getting burned. I really think it's because of the Walter Reed spike protein ferritin vaccine or whatever. Risk off on AMC. Emrin, how's Emrin been doing? That's big. That was always a big momentum mover there for a while. Oh my gosh. Wow. I did not know that Emrin went all the way up to 27. And it's back to $4 now. Shows you the danger of just pure momentum. $100 on a firm, which I actually think is still somewhat of a deal. Relatively close to that support line. DraftKings, I'm watching as well for a bottom. Oh, I was going to write down ARKG as a bottom. So let's put down 26 for DraftKings bottom. And we were going to put ARKG at a bottom of about, 58, I believe that was. So, yeah, I know you really want blind. You're saying in every live stream that we got to add blind labs. Fine. It looks just like the Robinhood chart, so they could be sisters. Oh, look, Robinhood's right there. Okay. So, Roku's having an interesting little slowdown in the share price. Bounced off the bottom pretty hard. Square still close to the bottom. Lemonade still close to the bottom. Again, that lack of real conviction in the market. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this popped in my head, but should I say this or is this stupid? I you know how when you have a crush on somebody and then you're like nervous around them so you don't say anything? I should say like Elon liking a reply to one of my tweets means Elon has a crush on me. No, that's stupid. It's really stupid. But I don't know why that popped into my head. Because we were joking, obviously, about Elon watching, and we obviously expect that he's not. But that's just stupid. Let me move on. So Zoom, how's Zoom here? So interesting. Zoom kind of had its bottom around 175. I'm going to write that down as well on Zoom. But Zoom's actually now trying to almost head back to that bottom a little bit. Down 3%. I mean, not heavily. I mean, Square and PayPal are doing almost the same thing. Tattooed Chef. Tattooed Chef's come off the bottom. All right, we got 1 minute left here. Piton, I actually do think Piton somewhat found a bottom, but no, you're right. No, actually, you're right. I don't, yeah, wow. No, you are right. It has not really found a bottom here. It hit a low of 36.42. Well, then again, is it potentially there? Because we're still there. Really interesting. All right. Let's just watch Tesla as it goes into the close here for a moment. Yeah, look at that Tesla rally into the close. Is Apple doing that as well? We got 30 seconds going left into the close here. Is this S&P buying? Yeah, this is probably S&P buying, folks. Apple, Microsoft. Look at those runs right into the close. This is people, the fear is going away, the uncertainty is going away, and we're seeing some S&P buying here into the close. That's what we've got. That's why Tesla's rallying a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the bell.
Today, but just by a little bit. It's a fairly inclusive rally as the Dow is going to go out up about 265 points, 35,753 for the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Another strong finish. 2 in a row. 4 stocks were firmly positive for the week and the month. Welcome back to Closing Bell, everyone. I'm Sarah.
Okay, there it is. So we've got, hey, look, Sarah's wearing green today, and the market's all green. 0.74% on the Dow, 1.02% on the S&P 500, NASDAQ 1.18, Russell 0.86. Bitcoin's almost at 49,000. It's kind of been playing this game for a while. Nice little rally into the close on the mega caps. Speaking specifically of Tesla and some of the others. Ooh, Jerry, this is interesting. Ooh, I like your thesis a lot. I like your thesis. Now, there's an element of this that needs to be done, but you're not wrong. Kathy's been dumping Tesla, even at like $950 sometimes. She's been dumping Tesla for some of these smaller caps. And I understand there's an element of rebalancing your ETFs regularly, but you're right. I mean, the actual share allocation for Tesla has gone down. So it would be interesting to compare Kathy's allocations of tops and see, because that's a really good observation, Jerry. Nailed it. That's a good one. Claire is wondering about my thoughts on COVID impacts on the hotel industry, specifically due to housing instability. Yeah, we've got such housing issues in America because we don't build enough homes. That's interesting. I'll write that down. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It'd be really cool to talk to like Ben Mala or something about that. But that's very interesting. Okay, let's see here. All right. So all right, XL Fleet's up about 8%. What else do we have here? Purple's coming back from the depths. Arcimoto, let's go. Shout out to Arcimoto, 7% here. Looks like EVs, decent movement on the EVs here today. Xpeng, Tesla, Arcimoto, Embraer, Corsair, 3%. Oh, I got some YOLO options on Corsair, so that's probably good. How did Arcade do today? Sounds a lot like Arcade. Oh, it's down. Oh, wait, no, that's after hours. How did it do on the day? If anything, it seems like it's relatively flat. What did it close for yesterday? Same thing. If anything, it did close down fractionally today. Enphase, 189. It's pretty close to that 180 bounce level. Lucid, sitting under 40. Probably a more reasonable place for it until we get those delivery numbers. Still nervous about those delivery numbers. Rivian ends at 96. Also had a nice push at the end of the day. Look at that push at the end of the day. This is institutions. People are buying. So a Rivian push. What about LCID? Did we have a little push there at the end of the day as well? Yeah, last minute we did. What about, yes, I'm getting at SoFi. How did it do today? So a lot of folks were waiting for those, for SoFi to potentially pick up a lot of refinances on the expiration of the student loan forbearance. But I believe that was just extended for 90 days, which not so ideal for SoFi. So SoFi sitting back down. Tattooed Chef. What do we got over here? Somebody's asking about Tattooed Chef. So Tattooed Chef, still hanging around. It's been hanging out around the 16 level for quite a while. Almost makes you wonder, is this potentially somewhere that 1550 level, a bottom? We've hit that a few times. 16, 1550, right around here. We've hit that quite a few times between 1550 and 16. Seems to be somewhat of a bottom. And we've been on this wild downtrend. Oh, yeah. The comments about Joe. Okay, let's see. Cardano, 134. Matterport, back over 24. Nice for Matterport. Owlet coming back a little bit. Dave & Buster's over 38. Always that flip on Dave & Buster's. Will there be another chance to get it under 30? Or is Omicron over? Apple back to 175. Wow. All right, let's take a look at some headlines here. So we talked about this 10-2 curve a lot earlier, which was very useful in my opinion. Omicron, hospitalization. Yeah, this was a big story about Omni. We'll probably look into this a little bit more detail later. HHS warns against potential bias and long waits to get vaccine. Pfizer pill was approved way better than the Merck pill, like substantially better. Did even Bloomberg get this wrong? Yeah, even Bloomberg got this wrong, folks. Remember, I made a whole video about how people are misunderstanding that Elon Musk says he sold enough shares plus his other stuff, like the option stuff. Even Bloomberg got that wrong. That's hilarious. I'm gonna print that. I'm saving that one. That one's going in over here. Boom. Right on the desktop until I sort it. Oh dear. That's all right. You know, it's okay to get things wrong. I get stuff wrong too. I always just happen to be right about the Elon thing. But that's okay. All right, let's see. Anything else? Wall Street Journal. Same thing with the studies. Homes sell at fastest pace in 10 months. Wow. I've been buying. Stick it to your Tesla tequila. I finished my Tesla tequila and then I gave away the bottle. The housing market is just nuts. I should probably do a separate video about why I'm still being crazy buying real estate, but I just love it. That's crazy. Sales on track since best year since 2006. That's always a great comparison because it's like right before the big crash. Yeah, not really. All right. What else? I don't know. Anything else happening in the after hours? Do we have any earnings today? Let's see here. Charge point's up about 1%. Let's see if we have any earnings today. Nope, we don't. Steve wants to know, when will the housing market crash? Well, there will become a time when housing becomes excessively euphoric, where in what's going to happen is, in order for average people, like median income households and families, to actually be able to afford homes, they're going to have to substantially lower credit guidelines and loan standards from where they are now. And until we see that loosening, we might not see the actual bubble expansion, which means there could still be an insane bubble expansion ahead. And what you really want to pay attention to are lending standards. I actually think there are charts on this. I usually just pay attention to actually what's happening with borrowers. I did that a lot more when I was a broker because I'd be like hand-holding people through the loan process, right? But I don't really do that anymore. Lending standards. Let me see if I can find that. Tightening yeah. Net percentage of banks tightening standards for commercial and industrial loans. No, I want regular people loans. See, what you're looking for is a loosening of standards usually. And see, like this, for example, look at this. This is a net percentage of domestic banks tightening standards for credit card loans. And you'll actually notice right here, right above my head, you've actually seen a decline in the number of banks tightening. So in other words, you have a loosening. A number under the line is like a loosening, right? And usually you get tightening during a recession, which you saw right here, 2008, over here. It's when you get really low periods that you can lead to bubble ups. But this is credit cards. I really want to see this tightening standards for like houses. Subprime mortgage loans. This isn't that good of a chart. Okay. How about government-backed loans? Ooh. Commercial real. This one. This is going to take a little more research than it's really worth doing live here. But yeah, you're not really seeing a substantial loosening right now. You saw a little bit earlier the year. But if you start seeing what you saw with the credit cards and you start seeing this go substantially negative, that could be your first signs. So that's what I would look for. There will always be another housing bubble. It's a matter of when. Existing households are actually not very sensitive to interest rates going up because mortgages generally are done on a fixed rate term. I don't know the percentage, but my guess is in excess of 80 to 90% of home mortgages in the United States are fixed rate for 30 years or 15 years, which means really your sensitivity, your household sensitivity to higher interest rates is effectively zero. You know, it could dampen some consumer spending because it becomes less desirable to refinance and take equity out because you lose that lower rate. But yeah, existing households, not too sensitive. IMO. Why did Enphase pop 1.3%? Well, I think it sold off in the middle of the day. Let's see here. Okay, nothing really happening in the after hours either, by the way. But let's go to get a mortgage on your house today and buy all the tulips. Oh my gosh. Yeah. In Canada, you don't have that, unfortunately. I think the most you guys usually do is that 10, but I think I don't know. Maybe you're right that the 5 year is the most common. And then what you do is you renegotiate with the bank. Germany does that too. You fix for like 10 years and then you renegotiate. They don't do that in America. It's really different. And you know why? It's because of the government. Because the government backs these with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, and you don't because of that backing, you get 30 and 15 year fix. You get the creation of the beast of the lifetime fixed rate loan, basically the fully amortized loan. If we were just doing private market loans, we'd be a lot like Canada and Germany, which is kind of cool to think about that difference. But yeah, the United States is very, very different because of that. Best stocks to buy on tapering time. Yeah, well, that's a crystal ball question. It's tough because, the question is really an expectation. Is Elon? What am I saying? Are rates going to go up 3 times in 2022? Or is the Fed going to slow down? Is inflation actually going to rotate down? Is it going to be enough? Do they have to raise rates again? I think that's probably the bigger question, is the inflection point of the Fed's behavior, not so much rates actually moving. I almost expect rates actually moving to be somewhat of a nothing burger. I think it's the surprises that you're going to get from the Fed that'll move the market. Können wir mal bitte alle Deutsch sprechen? What about bland or blend or whatever stock? Somebody wrote that. If you get locked in with a predatory loan in the US because you have to just suck up the poor tax, you're locked in. A predatory loan. Yeah, predatory loans. You always have bankruptcy as an option. Not that anybody wants to be encouraged to file bankruptcy, but if you agree to crappy terms, that can happen. It's true. Natürlich. All right, I'm going to go now. Thanks so much for being here. Good to know that Elon Musk is not done selling. We've finally got that clear clarity. And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Goodbye.